Red Shoes is a symbol of our cause, of the FASD movement, because you want people to say, what's with the red shoes, so you can start talking about FASD and the importance of this issue. Everyone needs to know about it. Individuals with FASD, they have their strengths, but what they need is a little bit more accommodation, a little bit more understanding in society and in their environment.
Our daughter was born, she couldn't swallow, and she was in intensive care for a number of years. She had a stomach tube. What I learned from all of that, the gift from all of that, was the other parents that I met. The love for their kids, some of whom suffered from fetal alcohol syndrome. We know that 1 in 20 school children in the U.S. Have some kind of issue with FASD. We know the broad impact that it has on our community and on their families. I am just proud to be your partner. It's an honor to work with all of you. I will say that we have made great strides on this bill in picking up many supporters, and I just really will not feel comfortable even talking about this award till we actually pass this bill.
I refuse to downplay how hard it can be to have FASD, because it is, and how hard it is for families. But I want you to know that the benefits of the early diagnosis and supports that I had really made the difference. Well, today I am a 39-year-old successful adult with FASD. I am a mother. In fact, I adopted my son, who also has FASD. FASD is an origin story. It's where you start. It's not a destination, and it is not where you will end up.
It's an honor to be here tonight to celebrate and more research and more education on fetal alcohol spectrum disorders. And it's great to see so many red shoes here tonight. So thank you for that. And today, 1 in 20 children we know suffer from fetal alcohol syndrome disorder. That number is pretty amazing. And we've got to come together. In the last few years, we made progress. We've raised awareness. We've helped break down stigma. The work you do is so crucial. It's so important.
This was not something I was taught about in medical school. My patients taught me, and those patients happened to be kids who were in foster care. And I remembered a slide that was put up for about 5 seconds when I was in medical school of a kid with FAS and said, this is fetal alcohol syndrome, and nothing else. And only after I began seeing a bunch of kids that had difficulties, I remembered that one picture. I went back, and as I began learning about FASD, I realized this was what was going on. The kinds of services that are starting, the momentum we're starting to build up, is going to help us get diagnosis.
I'm pleased that I have reintroduced the RESPECT Act in the United States House. It's bipartisan legislation, yay for that. The bill provides funding to promote education, awareness, and services across agencies and systems, because it's important that they work together. And we're going to do that by creating centers of excellence. So I'm hopeful we're going to get this bill across the finish line. So I'm here to thank you. 50 years, I wouldn't be here, we wouldn't be here with this on the cusp if it wasn't for you.
I directed the FASD project back in 2020. The more stories I heard, the more I heard of myself. And I started going, oh my gosh, this is what? I thought everybody had this issue. You don't know what you don't know, right? So I came back and explored a diagnosis myself, and it turns out I do also have an FASD, which is an amazing story in itself, but I think it truly speaks to the prevalence of this disability of FASD and how much attention it deserves and needs. I think in 20 years, we'll look back at nights like tonight and at times like these as we're pushing forward the FASD Respect Act. And we'll remember that we were on the right side of history as advocates for FASD and fought the good fight with FASD United.